What if there was a drug that could alter your vision, heart rate, and even your body temperature? Picture a substance with such power, wielding influence over our bodies in ways that can both heal and harm. Today, we delve into the world of anti-muscarinic drugs, with a spotlight on atropine. From its surprising origins to its diverse applications, these drugs are as fascinating as they are versatile. So buckle up and get ready for an intriguing journey. Welcome to our exploration of atropine and other anti-muscarinic drugs. Atropine, a fascinating drug, is our main protagonist today. A chemical compound derived from the belladonna plant, atropine has been a significant player in the medical field for centuries. But what makes atropine so special? Atropine belongs to a class of drugs known as anticholinergics. Specifically, it's an anti-muscarinic drug. Let's break this down. You may remember from your neuroscience class that the nervous system communicates using various neurotransmitters. One of the most important of these is acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that plays a key role in functions such as muscle movement and heart rate. The effects of acetylcholine are mediated by two types of receptors, nicotinic and muscarinic. Atropine, as an anti-muscarinic drug, binds to the muscarinic acetylcholine receptors. But it doesn't just bind to these receptors, it blocks them. This inhibitory action occurs in both the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Now you might be thinking, why would we want to block these receptors? Well, sometimes our bodies can produce too much acetylcholine, leading to a range of problems like overactive bladder or excessive sweating. By blocking the muscarinic receptors, atropine can help alleviate these symptoms. But that's not all. Atropine has another trick up its sleeve. It's a competitive antagonist. This means it competes with acetylcholine for the same receptor sites. But unlike acetylcholine, atropine doesn't activate the receptors. This competition reduces the effect of acetylcholine, further helping to control symptoms caused by excessive acetylcholine. It's interesting to note that atropine doesn't distinguish between the different types of muscarinic receptors. It blocks them all, which is why it has such a wide range of effects on the body. So, now that we know how atropine works, what happens when we use it? You'd be surprised by the power this little compound holds. When we talk about atropine, we're talking about a drug that has an array of effects on the human body. It's a fascinating compound, and it's all due to its anti-muscarinic activity. Imagine a symphony, if you will. Each instrument plays a part, contributing to the overall masterpiece. Now imagine if a rogue musician decided to play their own tune, disrupting the harmony. This is essentially what atropine does in our bodies. It's the rogue musician in the symphony of our physiological functions. And just like that musician, atropine has the power to significantly alter the performance. The heart, for instance, dances to the beat of atropine. It increases heart rate by blocking the action of the vagus nerve, the conductor of our heart's rhythm. This can be life-saving in situations of heart block or bradycardia. Our vision, too, is influenced by atropine. It dilates the pupils, giving us that wide-eyed look, but also potentially blurring our near vision. This is a result of atropine blocking the action of the muscarinic receptors in the ciliary muscles of the eye. Atropine also has a profound effect on our body temperature. By inhibiting sweat glands, it can lead to an increase in body temperature. This is why it was used in the past as an antidote for nerve gas and pesticide poisoning, where excessive sweating is a common symptom. Finally, let's not forget about its impact on the gastrointestinal tract. Atropine reduces gastrointestinal motility, slowing down the transit of food. This can lead to constipation, but it can also be helpful in conditions where slowing the gut is beneficial, such as irritable bowel syndrome. So there you have it. Atropine, a small compound with a big impact, affecting everything from our heart rate to our bowel movements. It's a testament to the delicate balance of our body's functions and how one rogue musician can change the entire symphony. But atropine isn't the only player in the game. Atropine might be a star, but it's not alone in the anti-muscarinic universe. Let's delve into the cosmos of other key players in the anti-muscarinic galaxy. First, we have scopolamine. Also known as hyoscine, this drug is often used to prevent motion sickness and post-operative nausea and vomiting. It shares a close resemblance to atropine in terms of its anti-muscarinic properties, but it has a unique twist. Unlike atropine, scopolamine crosses the blood-brain barrier more readily, leading to pronounced central nervous system effects. Next up is ipratropium. This drug is a bronchodilator commonly used in the treatment of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and asthma. While it shares the antimuscarinic properties of atropine, it differs in its route of administration. Ipratropium is usually given via inhalation, allowing it to act directly on the bronchial muscles, minimizing systemic side effects. Last, but certainly not least, let's talk about tropicamide. This drug is a star in the field of ophthalmology. Tropicamide is used to dilate the pupil and relax the ciliary muscle, facilitating eye examinations and surgeries. Like atropine, it blocks the muscarinic receptors, but its duration of action is much shorter, making it ideal for short-term use. These drugs, while different in their applications, all share the common trait of being antimuscarinic. This means they block the action of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter, at muscarinic receptors in the body. The result? A decrease in parasympathetic nerve impulses. This can lead to effects such as pupil dilation, increased heart rate, and reduced salivation, among others. But here's the catch. While these drugs can be life-saving, they can also pose challenges. Overdose or misuse can lead to antimuscarinic poisoning, a serious condition characterized by symptoms like hallucinations, fast heart rate, and dry mouth. With such powerful effects, these drugs can be both a boon and a bane. But don't worry, we'll cover the ins and outs of antimuscarinic poisoning and its treatment in the next scenes. Stay tuned. Every rose has its thorns, and so do antimuscarinic drugs. As beneficial as they can be, these drugs can also lead to a serious condition known as antimuscarinic poisoning. Just as the elements of nature maintain balance, so does our body. When this balance is disturbed, it can lead to dire consequences. Antimuscarinic poisoning is a classic example of this disturbance. It occurs when there is an excess of antimuscarinic drugs in the body, leading to an overdrive of the nervous system. This can result from a single large dose or from cumulative smaller doses over time. Now imagine your body as a well-oiled machine. All parts work in harmony, communicating through various signals. Antimuscarinic drugs essentially block certain signals, disrupting this harmony. In the case of poisoning, this disruption becomes severe, leading to a myriad of symptoms. These symptoms can be remembered with the phrase, hot as a hare, blind as a bat, dry as a bone, red as a beet, and mad as a hatter. This means the person may have an elevated body temperature, blurred vision, dry mouth, flushed skin, and mental confusion. In more severe cases, hallucinations, seizures, and even coma may occur. It's a bit like a wild, unwelcome party happening in your body, where the guests are the symptoms and the overstay is the party's duration. The dangers of antimuscarinic poisoning are evident. It's not just about uncomfortable symptoms, it can be life-threatening. This is why prompt recognition and treatment are vital. It's like knowing when to call the cops to end the wild party before it spirals out of control. But fear not, there's a solution to this problem. Just as every problem has a solution, so does antimuscarinic poisoning. In our next scene, we will delve into the treatment of this condition, shedding light on how the balance can be restored. Because just as every rose has its thorns, it also has its bloom, a symbol of hope and recovery. In the face of danger, knowledge is our greatest weapon. And in the case of antimuscarinic poisoning, that weapon is in the form of treatment options. Now, let's dive into how exactly we can combat this medical conundrum. The primary treatment for antimuscarinic poisoning is physostigmine, an antidote that works by reversing the inhibition of acetylcholinesterase, the very enzyme blocked by antimuscarinic drugs. This allows the body to break down excess acetylcholine, restoring balance to the system. But it's not all about the antidote. Supportive care also plays a significant role in treatment. This includes measures like controlling the patient's heart rate, ensuring proper hydration, and managing any agitation or hallucinations that might accompany the poisoning. In essence, the treatment of antimuscarinic poisoning is a two-pronged approach, combining a specific antidote with supportive care to ensure the best possible outcome for the patient. So, we've taken quite the journey through the world of antimuscarinic drugs. From the pharmacology of atropine to the treatment of antimuscarinic poisoning, we've covered a lot of ground. We've delved into the potent effects of atropine, explored other antimuscarinic drugs, and navigated the treacherous waters of poisoning and its treatment. This is just the tip of the iceberg. The world of pharmacology is vast and ever-evolving. So let's keep learning together. Remember, knowledge is power. So subscribe for more because you won't find me later.